We usually go out there right about now, but we are out there with E.B. Tucker talking Why Gold, Why Now? It's his new book, his latest book, and you can find it on Amazon where all books are sold. And E.B., do you have a website as well we can visit?
No, we thought Amazon is the best bet for that because everyone knows how to get there. And if you just type Why Gold, Why Now, it comes right up. And
it is a current bestseller, I'll have to say that. I mean, it's got great reviews. I've read it. You were kind enough to send me an advanced copy, and I even have an actual purchased copy here with me. But it's a very quick read, very easy read. You do not have to be an expert to read it and understand it, and that's something I love about E.B.'s writing. And E.B., you've written for years for various newsletters, for Doug Casey's newsletters. I mean, you've really, really prominent in investing, and particularly investing from a precious metals perspective. And you really know how to make it understandable for folks.
That was the goal. So the goal was not to write it for the 24 experts that I know that have spent their entire life in this business. The goal was to write it so that Aunt Nancy can pick the book up, and at the end of it, she says, I now understand why I thought something was wrong and what to do about it.
That's so nice. Aunt Nancy's going to love that.
She's going to love it. And so we even include who to call to get the gold. I mean, the brokers that I've done business with that I trust, what to ask them on the phone.
Yeah.
What to ask for, how to know if they're giving you a fair price. I mean, we arm you with all the information. And so, Morgan, one thing we were talking about during the break is you think what's going on now is alarming. You're not going to believe what comes next.
Yeah, tell me about that.
So we explain in the second part of the book that these things come in. They don't just happen overnight. It's a series of events that happen, and they build into a crescendo. And we're about only halfway through this process. And so, you've seen all these government money printing. And I mean, go back to 15 years ago and imagine that the Federal Reserve has got $4.5 trillion. Now it's $7 trillion worth of debt on its balance sheet. It's just printing $1 trillion when the flu takes the U.S. by storm, and think about it. It's just really crazy.
Yeah.
But it happens. It's like being eaten by a python or something. I mean, it happens so slowly you barely know what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then you say, "Wait a minute, I'm gonna be all the way in." So this is what people need to back up and see that these things happen in sequence. Now, the next thing we talked about, negative interest rates. You're going to see this. You're already hearing about it a little bit. Okay, then after that, you're going to have forced buying of treasuries because there's going to be no one else to buy the treasuries. Finance the government spending. There's no one else to buy the treasuries. You're going to buy them. So we explain how this is going to happen. It's already happened in the EU once. We're going to show you evidence of that, and we're going to explain to you how they're going to do this and why you need to be aware of it before it happens. And then you're going to pay people not to work because that sounds like a crazy idea. There's books about this. We quote from the books and we tell you what's going on, and then we say, hey, guess what? During the virus panic, you paid people about $40,000 a year to not work.
Yeah, we see it happening.
So this is already happening. The evidence is right there. And then just when you think that this is all sounding pretty dramatic, at the end of the day, there's going to be a digital U.S. currency, and it's going to give the Treasury complete and total control of every single dollar. Now the dollars have serial numbers on it, but when this happens, they'll know they'll say, well, Mr. Streetman, you've spent more than your allocation on entertainment this month, and we know because we have control of every single dollar ever created.
Yeah.
And that's coming. That's the final piece of this. Now, once that happens, it doesn't mean life is over. No, it's not over at all. Life is never over. It carries on. You adjust, all these things. But your ability to have some money outside of the system is finished.
Yeah.
Even now, people say, well, why would you need so much cash?
Right.
What are you up to?
Go try to take cash out of your bank.
Yeah. What's the purpose of this cash? Please fill out this form. And you say, well, I like to have cash because anonymity. What are you hiding? I mean, so
if you aren't doing anything wrong, you've got nothing to hide.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I love that when you. So okay, but this is all history. This is ancient history. I mean, I have little children. They'll never live in a world where you have this anonymity of having cash. Just think about it. There used to be a $10,000 bill.
Right.
And then there was a $5,000 bill and a $500. Now it's $100. $100. I mean, this is barely gas and coffee and a snack.
Yeah, there was a $10,000 bill when $10,000 was actually a lot of money.
Serious money.
Yeah.
I say that when I leave the house to run an errand and pick up some snacks or something pick up a frozen acai bowl or something for my family members. I spend $100 every time I leave the house.
I want to go snacking with Roxanne. This is $300 for mid-morning snack. So the thing is that this is coming to an end, and people need to see the pattern when this finishes. Now, think about this. Most of the world uses dollars as savings. So this is very common. I mean, as you know, I've been to 42, 43 countries or something. I love traveling and spending time in other places. 80% of the $100 bills are outside of the U.S. Mm-hmm. Most of the currency, the physical currency, is outside of the U.S. I mean, you go to Cambodia or any crazy place, and you've got people using the dollar as wealth storage. So during the virus situation, we said, there were all these articles that cash is dangerous because the virus could live on the cash. So they quarantined a lot of the cash, which put a huge amount of pressure on liquidity in China. You see how the U.S. uses the dollar as a weapon.
Yeah.
And so as that weapon loses its power, it shows you that we're headed towards this new way to control the money.
Right.
This is coming, okay? And I think they'll call it FedCoin. That's a name that I came up with a couple of years ago in 2016. This is not a new prediction. This is something I've been working on for a long time, and I think they'll call it FedCoin, but they could come up with they always name these things in a way that sound helpful, but they're not helpful.
Okay, we want to grab a minute here for our contest, so we're going to take the seventh caller, 777's Lucky 7, the seventh caller at 888-404-1010. You're going to win a special edition. You cannot get this in the stores. In fact, I'll wager that you won't even be able to find one of these unless you get it as the winner of this contest on our show. A special edition of Why Gold, Why Now? It's got color photographs in it. We've ordered a tranche of them for me personally to give away as gifts, and the seventh caller is going to win one of these right now. So get on the horn with us, 888-404-1010. Now, before we go, I got a question from a listener that came in here, EB, and this listener wanted to know, why is it that as gold is going up, at least in the spot price, the ETFs for gold are not going up at the same rate?
Well, there's a lot of complexity with how this gold is held. I mean, the way to own gold, which we tell in the book, is to own it yourself, physical hold in your hand gold. The ETFs a lot of times own gold futures, and these are paper contracts that are designed to mimic the price of gold, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's owning a timeshare.
Right.
You know, they say, well, you got a beach house, don't you? No, I have a timeshare. Same thing. Well, not really quite the same thing.
All right. Well, we got a winner of our contest. Our winner is Cindy. So, Cindy, give your address to Pat George. I'm sure he already took it from you, and we're going to be mailing you a copy. That's a new thing in radio contests. Since you can't come to the station anymore, we're going to be mailing you a special limited edition copy of Why Gold, Why Now? Folks, go out there on Amazon and check it out. I'm sure you're going to love it. And we'd like to thank our special guest, E.B. Tucker. I'm Morgan Streetman, and that's the way I see it. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.